for joining us. And this time now we get into conversations. 7 minutes gone in the 8 o'clock hour. We talk all the way till 9. At 9 you get the headline news, and then of course Tunji Andrews will be in the studio to give you the money, business and economy show. Well, this morning we will be talking about sex for grades in Nigeria's higher institutions. I would think maybe you should not be living under a rock, but you would have heard the story that emanated from last week, and a situation that I guess I would still use the word developing at OAU, that is the Obafemi Awolowo University, one of Nigeria's most prestigious tertiary institutions. Now, last week it came out that a female undergraduate apparently has been harassed by a lecturer who was asking her for sex to upgrade her failure in a recent examination to a pass grade. Now, she apparently recorded the conversation that she and the lecturer had and then posted it online. This has been shared many times and has generated a lot of controversy and outrage. Now, there are those who have said that the sexual exploitation of vulnerable female students has been something that has been happening in Nigeria's higher institutions from, I hate this phrase, but I'm going to use it, time immemorial. But if you have not read it or listened to it, I'll just generally give you the gist. In that telephone conversation, the lecturer could be heard pointedly demanding for sex from the female student in a bid to upgrade her score of 33 to a pass mark. And the lecturer said that he would want to sleep with the girl 5 times before he could do that for her. And then the girl goes on to say, you know what, let me just fail the class. I can't have sex with you 5 times in order to pass it. And it has, of course, generated controversy and conversation. And we're going to have one of those conversations today on the show. Please do feel free to join the conversation via WhatsApp. Our WhatsApp number is 08095975805. If you want to share a story or a situation you found yourself in, if you want to share an opinion on this, you're also free to do so. You can also, of course, tweet at us at Nigeria Info FM, at Tolu AB, or at Abanjo1. If you're very shy, you can slide into my DM. Anything there will be kept confidential. I did get a number of those, and I will share 1 or 2 of them as we have this conversation. But to discuss this, we will be talking to a professor from UNILAG, Professor Yomi Adeyeye.
Adeyeye.
See the people. Now, wow, Victor, in the middle of my intro, thank you very much. But in the studio with us, we have a student, not of UNILAG, but who is now currently serving. Her name is Ifunaya Anikpe, and she's going to share her own story before we get in touch with Professor Yomi, just very briefly. So, Ifunaya, good morning to you.
Good morning.
This is a conversation not so many people would readily be willing to share their own experience with. Now, of course, it's social media, so people have been sending DMs and private messages and having other people post them. But why do you feel the need to share this publicly?
I feel like I should let people know what's happening, and you don't have to succumb to whatever the person is asking you to do. There's always a way out.
Okay, so tell us what happened.
Okay, that was in my year 2. Yeah, so there's this particular man. He was teaching me a particular course which I really loved, and I knew that I was not going to fail that course for anything. But he told me, Ifunaya, before you pass my course, you have to sleep with me. I'm like, sir, why?
How did he tell you? Did he call you into his office one day?
He started with, like, in class. I would just be in class. He would just, like, stand up, walk out of my class, get out.
So he first started picking on you?
Yeah, so just get out of my class. I'm like, so what have I done? Like, are you asking me? Get out. I'm like, Everybody in my class is like, if you what you do, I've not done anything wrong. I can't just place my hands on what he's trying to talk about, yeah? So after, like, weeks, and I went to his office. I'm like, sir, please, where did I offend you? If I've done anything wrong, forgive me. But, like, there's nothing, that should leave his office. I had to come to another lecturer. I'm like, help me beg this man. The man said I should go back to the man again and go and ask him again. And I went back. The man said, okay, let's do it this way. That he doesn't hate me, that he really likes me so much, that if at all I want to pass his course, I have to sleep with him. I'm like, sir, there's nothing. I don't understand. You understand? It was so funny at first, but the man was like, he's serious. I should go and think about it. And I went home. I went to my friend. I'm like, babe, see you. Girl, like, never. I should not try it. That once I started. I'm like, I won't even try it. Because if my mom hears it, that one is another hypertension on its own. So I won't even do it. You get? So, first, that year 2, he failed me. Like, F. Year 3, F. I wrote the course 4 times.
You wrote the course four
good times. Like F, and it was painful because I had to pay like 5,000 for each time I'm going to write the course. And I couldn't tell my parents, so it was my pocket money
that you were using
to pay for the course all over and all over again. I wasn't in Nigeria, I was in Ghana, so you could just imagine that it was so hard. The little money I get from my pocket money, I have to squeeze out money to pay for carryover that I know that
you're not supposed to be carrying over.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to carry over.
So how did this situation eventually right itself?
Yeah, so at the end of the day, I went to meet this very old man in my school. I'm like, sir, please, this has been going on, but this is my last semester in this school, and I cannot carry over this course again. That's extra 1 year. I can't. Help me. But I was like, Now, why didn't I say it since? I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen. Or like, what happened? And I told the man the story. And the man was like, that was the lecturer. And I told him, I was like, okay, I should go. I should come back tomorrow. The next day I went back. He said, I'm going to register for the course again. And I'll write it. He will supervise
this person that you went to.
Yeah, the old one. Yeah, I was like, okay. So I paid for the course again. I wrote it. And that was how I passed the course. As in, it was like a miracle. I did not see it coming. I felt like extra 1 year was coming for me for just one course that I know that I'm not supposed to fail. It was, as in, I had to cry several times because I don't have mine. And I don't know what to do. At the point, I wanted to actually succumb. Not just once. We'll do this thing. Make this man give me this thing. Let me just go. You get. But at the point, when I think about it, I'm like, girl, you can't do this. Once you start, you might go and tell another lecturer. I say, true. Are you serious? They give self. I am now. Do you understand? So I knew that was not an option for me at that point in time.
So did you eventually ever tell your parents about this?
Never.
And what's like the school you were in, did they have any processes or procedures in place if you were being harassed for you to be able to report a lecture?
No.
So there was literally no one you could have turned to?
Just that old man. I saw he was very old and probably he would understand where I was coming from. That's why I went to meet the man. It was the last option I had.
So every single time this lecturer was failing you, you would just write the exam and you would just fail.
Yeah.
He didn't try to talk to you again.
He didn't say anything again because it felt like probably already passed the message. So when I'm ready, I should let him know. That was what it was all about.
So you failed the course 4 times.
4 times.
All right, let's make contact with Professor Yomi Akinyele from UNILAG. We're going to have this conversation because, as it is, while this is the latest case that seems to be in the spotlight, it's not the only case. Last October, a married lecturer at the Cross River State's College of Technology was seen in a video that went viral, apparently soliciting sex from a female student assigned to him for her project. He was eventually arrested by law enforcement agents. Another one was caught with his pants down, or rather in his underpants, with an Auchi Polytechnic student. The lecturer claimed that he was being set up. Now, you also remember in 2005, the Lagos State University sacked a lecturer who was also caught in his underpants in a Lagos hotel room in the process of having sex with a 200-level undergraduate. It is not anything new, and let's even say young men are not left out of it. Some of the young men in tertiary institutions are instructed to provide young women for their lectures or give them money in order to be able to pass some classes. So once we make contact with Professor Yomi, we'll continue this conversation. Please don't forget you can reach out to us on social media at Nigeria Info FM, as well as on WhatsApp 0809597505. Hello? Okay, let's see if we can't do this very quickly. We'll be right back. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, good morning, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. Am I speaking to Professor Yomi?
Yes, I was trying to get your exact station. I'm tuned to 96.9 here.
No, that's our sister station. Please tune to 99.3.
Okay.
Okay. But we'd also appreciate if you can help us turn down the radio, please.
All right.
All right. Okay, thank you so much for joining us, Prof. You're welcome. This is the Breakfast News Digest with Tolu and Dapo.
Okay.
Good morning, Prof.
Good morning. You say 99. Okay.
Yes, you heard yourself. All right, so please help us turn down the radio, sir.
All right.
All right, so we are discussing sex for grades, and while many people say that it's not something that is new in Nigeria, there are many different dimensions to it. The latest one, of course, involves that lecturer from OAU, but there have been allegations from almost every single tertiary university that there is in Nigeria. How rampant do you think the problem is?
Well, it's unfortunate. I cannot say how rampant, but I'm aware it does happen.
Can you please, sorry, Prof, can you please turn down your radio, please?
Okay.
Or turn it off. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Okay,
Right.
please.
There's still interference,
Still
Prof.
some feedback, Prof.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay, there we go. Fantastic. Okay, please go ahead.
I'm aware it does happen. How rampant, I cannot say. And it is unfortunate. Only very few lecturers are involved in this very shameful act. And they are tended to blackmail and give the vast majority of their colleagues bad names.
All right, so you say very few of the lecturers are involved. Now, what are some of the cases or situations you've heard or that you may have been privy to?
I've only heard, I've not seen any case, but I'm aware. In the case of University of Lagos, the university has a very strict policy on sexual harassment and on matters of this nature. And if anything of that nature comes up, the lecturer involved is promptly dealt with as a deterrent to all the others.
Okay, can you enlighten us about the process or the procedure that UNILAG has in place? How do students, whether male or female, because it happens on the flip side with some young men who are asked to either provide females for the lectures or even give money in lieu of that, how can they make their complaints known or their issues known?
Telephone lines, up to the vice chancellor are given to students. Mm-hmm. If anybody feels harassed, even third party can report a case of sexual harassment. The students involved may not directly report. Last year, Senate just passed a policy that if anybody is involved, if the students are timid or are not able to report, they can report to somebody high up who can then take up their matter to the highest level, up to the level of the vice chancellor, and procedures will be commenced to make sure this is arrested and dealt with.
Okay. Prof, we also have instances or situations where male students actually harass female lecturers.
Well, that is not a common development. It's news. That is news. Because in most cases, female lecturers are much older than the male students. And so it's unusual for young students to harass their lecturers sexually. I'm not aware of that instance.
Okay, then the regular flip side to the story is that female students also harass lecturers. They actually tell exactly. So, is there any process in place to address that when a lecturer probably makes it known that there's a female student who has been on his case, saying that, you know what, I don't even want to write this paper, I just want to pass, and all I want is to just give you what you want so that I can get what I want from the lecturer too.
As I said, the university has a policy that takes care of this. Staff can also report instances of this nature to the authorities.
So what happens to students if a staff member reports maybe them offering them sex in lieu of marks?
I have not had a case in point, but their procedure, their laid down rules. If such a thing happens and the lecturer reports, there are specified penalties for such students.
That's quite interesting to hear. Now, in regards to this, as you said, UNILAG has procedures and process in place, phone numbers available for complaints to be made, and third parties can also make the complaints. But that's UNILAG. Some of the universities have not gone as far as that. On a whole, because whether it's a professor in one university or a lecturer in another, the whole higher institutions get tarred and feathered with the black brush. How do you think we as a country can address this issue?
The nation should come up with a comprehensive policy guideline for all universities. But I'm aware that all universities have similar policies like the one UNILAG has. Remember when the OAU instance was supported, the Vice Chancellor swung into action, and this set up a committee to investigate this matter, and that if it is established that the matter was true, appropriate disciplinary actions will be taken. So UNILAG is not alone. All universities have, I want to believe all universities have similar policies in place. But maybe there can be through the Ministry of Education or the NUC a broad directive that in case of sexual harassment, this is the policy guideline. Although every council, every university is at liberty to formulate its own policy, its own laws, and its own rules and regulations governing the conduct of its affairs. But if the NUC puts it as part of the guideline to university, I think we'll be going a long way addressing the problem.
Okay, can we also take a look at mob action against a female student who dares to voice out possibility of other male lecturers with same tendencies pouncing on the female student, and then most of the time they say, the student will never graduate?
I'm not aware of such an instance. There are enough mechanisms to protect such students. There has never been any instance of mob action, to my knowledge, where any student who has complained of sexual harassment is subjected to that type of reaction or activity.
Now, Prof, let's take you back to, I think this is, sometime in 2006 when on the floor of the National Assembly, a bill was sponsored talking about sexual harassment in tertiary institutions or higher institutions of learning in Nigeria. Now, it was the Academic Staff Union of Universities that felt that the bill, with all of its intent and purposes, was undermining university autonomy, and they also felt that the bill unduly targeted lecturers. Now, that bill has been sat down. Basically, no movement has been made on it since mid-2016, but many have argued that if ASU had worked with the federal government or the sponsors of the bill and had passed that bill, there would have been something in place that would, between that time and now, have adequately worked to protect female and male students and also get out airing lectures. What's your stance on the sexual harassment bill that is currently languishing in the National Assembly?
Well, people misconstrued ASU's reaction. ASU has always stood for the autonomy of universities. And what do you mean by autonomy? Autonomy is the ability of universities to regulate its activities. There are procedures for making rules, for making laws. If the National Assembly had gone ahead, that sacred position will have been vitiated. It's not that ASU condoned sexual harassment. ASU was saying that there are enough provisions in the regulations, in the statutes of all universities to make laws in response to contingencies as they arise. If the NUC says that henceforth all councils should have specific provision on this item of sexual harassment, within that broad policy framework, each university council, senate, and hierarchy of authority will come up with its own policy response, as has been done in the case of the University of Lagos, which I pointed out to you, and which I want to believe other universities have done in different ways. So what ASU was saying is that you have enough provisions, you have enough rules and regulations, and that there was no need for the National Assembly to identify this and take away the statutory power of university councils, university senates, to regulate their own affairs. It does not mean that these organs do not have provisions adequate to cope with to address the fears of the National Assembly. In any case, many members of the National Assembly do come here to fish, to fish for these girls and to encourage them to do untoward things. And so stigmatizing or identifying the universities for this type of undue attention is like passing the buck. If those who have not been coming, these students will not be encouraged to know that you can have access to anything, including good things of life and even academic grades, by exploring and exploiting your body. The universities, as I've said, have enough provisions to cope with all this. It's not that they condone sexual harassment or recklessness.
Prof, thanks for your comments. We also have reported that in a few cases, on the long run, the school will take a decision on what to do to the lecturer. But at the end of the day, the friends of the lecturer or the school system is not protective of the student in question. So on the long run, the student loses all forms. Okay, you have reported, okay, he sexually harassed you. School says, okay, it will be dismissed or is going to be suspended or something. But to the student, what form of protection do they enjoy?
The student is adequately protected. In the university statutes, you have enough rules. And once this has come into the public domain, the student occupies a particular position of guide, of watch, and of protection. It's not true that lecturers will go around to victimize such a student. There have been cases of lecturers dismissed in the past without any adverse consequences to such students. In any case, don't forget that when lecturers mark and assess, they don't have monopoly over whatever they do. There are checks and balances. External examiners do come to get whatever we mark internally and express their own opinion. So if there are instances of deviation from normalcy, external examiners will point this out, and the students also still reserve the right to write a petition through all the available channels to the appropriate authority complaining about victimization. So I don't want us to see that the system is unduly protective of lecturers to the detriment of students. No. Okay.
Another thing is, what would the university authorities typically look for during investigation? Is it word of mouth? Of a sexual harassment from a female student? What kind of evidence will the university authority be looking for?
Don't forget that the universities train the professionals who investigate, who go to the law court, who practice, who adjudicate and deliver judgment. So they have all the available manpower and are sufficiently equipped with the technicalities to get evidence and to be able to distill, analyze, and come out with appropriate conclusions from their evidence. The UAU, for example, has a very vibrant faculty of law, and the products of the UAU in the judicial terrain have been given a very good account of themselves. So the universities that train such professionals will not be short of their supply to be able to go about these instances, this type of little or minor cases.
I find all of this quite interesting because part of the question also is, for many people, especially with this story and others, is the fact that many students will maybe fail a course or find themselves teetering just between fail and pass, and will go to the lecturers asking for help. Now, I know when this story broke, many people were saying, why did she go and seek his help, or why was she asking him to help her do something? That's a normal course of action. Does that in fact actually open up maybe lecturers, but particularly students, to the solicitation from others? Should students stop going to lecturers and asking them, what can we do? What can I do? I'm just about to fail. I'm just about to pass. What can you do for me? Should students stop making those inquiries?
Apart from teaching the students, lecturers are also in loco parentis, and every university as they exist in Nigeria today has a system whereby you have course advisors. The course advisors are like guardian angels to be able to look at the progress of the students, where they are progressing, where they are not progressing, and advise them appropriately. So it's inbuilt in the system that they must go one way or the other to seek guidance, to seek direction from their lecturers. You cannot take that away. But the line should be drawn as to what is legal, what is proper, and what is beyond the ordinary. If a student knows he or she is weak, and the advice to seek for is, what do I do academically? What type of books do I read? What type of journals do I consult? And how do I go about this? Not that, can you help me to turn a third grade into a pass one? No. The system is structured in such a way that students, as of necessity, have to consult their course advisors for guidance and direction in the course of their academic pursuit.
All right.
All right. Let's quickly take a look at a male lecturer that is unmarried. Are there rules of interaction between such single male lecturers and the female students? He could genuinely like a female student and is looking forward to probably making his wife.
Yes, there are. The policy guideline that UNILAG came up with accommodated this type of contingency. If a lecturer in that category has software for a student and he has good intentions, the university requires that you make if you want to say, declare your assets. Declare that you are going out with these students and this is your intention towards that.
Wait, sorry.
The university,
sorry, Prof. He declared to who? He has to declare to his superiors?
To the school. The university has provided that you make that known.
To who?
Disclose. To the university authority, and so they know. There are several instances of lecturers who have married their students.
What about the family of the students? Does he have to declare intention if the student is maybe 18 or 19? Does he have to declare that intention known to the guardians of the student?
No, as a rule, the Constitution recognizes that it's only adults who come to the university. People who are able to take decisions on their own and whose decision will be respected. They are not kindergarten people, they are not secondary school people. So they are able to know what is good and what is bad for them. And once that decision is taken, it's just to protect the university's reputation and to know that what is going on between them is not out of the ordinary and is not unconstitutional. That they say, okay, if you are having this intention, make your intention known to the university authority. That was part of the rules put in place by the University of Lagos just last year. Maybe other universities may take a leaf from that and approach our registry for this policy guideline. That will go a long way in addressing this type of contingency you have raised.
All right, Prof, thank you so much for your time this morning. We'll continue the conversation. I do hope that you will be able to listen. We're getting some WhatsApp messages, and there are a few people who not fully disagree with you, but definitely not fully agree with you either. But we'll take those when we come back from the break. Thank you so much, sir.
All right.
All right. Have a great day. Okay, so we have been speaking to Professor Yomi Akinyele from UNILAG. When we come back after this quick break, Ifunaya is still in the studio, and we have a lot of WhatsApp messages, and we'll continue the conversation. Sex for grades in Nigeria's higher institutions. Join us after this break. it's like it's not time to take a break. We'll take that break later. But in a moment, I will quickly go through some of these WhatsApp messages. But Ifunaya, these people have killed me today. Ifunaya is in the studio and she was listening to everything the Prof Yomi said. And I know you have 1 or 2 points. He said that he thinks it's a situation of a few lecturers spoiling the names of a bunch. UNILAG particularly does seem to have a process and procedure in place for not only students to report lecturers, but lecturers also report students if they feel that they're being enticed. What are your thoughts to all the things that Prof Yomi said?
Funny enough, I don't think there are few lecturers. I think the lecturers are more. Like, there are so much. It's not few. He has to correct that word because he's making it look.
But obviously, not all of them.
Yeah, not all of them. Yeah, it can't be all. Yeah, but
that was the last question I forgot to ask him. The ones that are not involved, many of them actually know the ones who do, and they don't. They look the other way.
Yeah, they are colleagues. Yeah, you don't want to open someone else. You don't. Probably you have something else that is hidden that person knows too. So you don't want to do something that the person will also have something against you. Yeah, so probably I feel he's not actually telling us everything. Personally, that's what I feel. He's actually telling us everything. It's okay. Yeah, it's colleagues, so it's fine. But if you want to protect people, and I think you have to be open to help.
Now, do you? Now, in your case, Ifunaya, you spoke to that elderly man.
Yeah.
Obviously, what the elderly man did, from the story, is that he spoke with the lecturer and said, "You know what? Release this young girl to go."
But not everybody has.
But he didn't talk to the school. Don't you think he should have reported that case to the school with evidence, and as a deterrent, for other lecturers who probably will have that opportunity? How many people will approach the old man?
Yeah, you see, that's what I'm saying, trying to protect yourselves. So he felt like, okay,
this is the one I can do something.
So I can do this. Okay, just let this girl go. I beg. He's going too much. He came to me today. You don't know which she's going to go to tomorrow. So just let her go. I felt that's what he told him, and the guy,
Now, in terms of what UNILAG has put in place, phone lines available, even third-party reporting, what do you think about that? We're not able to verify if that is the system in place in all universities, and I will get to OAU statements as to how they're handling this. But do you think that is an adequate enough way in which to have students report these situations?
Most universities have that, but I don't think it works. Before a lecturer approaches you, he tells you what he wants to say. Like, report to the highest authority.
Yes, I've heard that.
Nothing will happen. And you're like, the phone number you can't call. Nothing. You can't do anything. Because when you even remember, the man say, even though you go to highest authority and come back, you still come and meet me here. So I feel like those things don't work because you're already threatened from the beginning. So most of those things don't actually work. It actually doesn't work.
Now, I have a personal question for you. Why didn't you talk? You did not even talk to, girls. You just people who know. Maybe your classmates and your friends, your close friends, know about it. How come none of your friends reported this matter on your behalf and you never really approached the authority too?
I was scared.
And her friends will probably be scared for her.
And my friend was like, Ify, I believe that thing. Oh, tell him what you don't know what's going to happen. Don't know if the next person you're going to tell is actually doing the same thing too. So you gotta report to this person. And the person like, that girl can't tell me this thing. You could shoot this girl today, and I'm stuck to one place. So we're like, don't tell anybody. But when it got worse, like I didn't know what to do. I had to pick up courage and go and meet that elderly man. Left to me, I wouldn't have even gone at all. I would just stand there and be looking like, God, what do I do?
So what would have happened if you've gone an extra year? You had, let's not go. All right, let me take a few WhatsApp messages. Not a few, but a lot. And people are still writing. You didn't put your name, but I'll read this message. This one says, the prof is not saying the truth. There are provisions to report sexual harassment, but the criteria is difficult to meet. Many of my mates are being harassed at the University of Lagos. The students, too, do not want to speak. So I will rather not make reference to them. Even this week, a lecturer told a student who told him that she's a virgin that he would only believe and stop disturbing her if he could find out for himself. Everybody's doing anonymous today. Nigeria Info, I just have to join in this shameful but real discussion. I don't want to say my name, but I graduated from a tertiary institution in Lagos. To be short, all lecturers know about this. Not all of them are involved. They even know those that do this thing, but they will keep mute. I was a class governor of my class, and what lecturers tell us to do sometimes is shameful and unspeakable. A lecturer will ask you to organize your classmate for them. If you say no, you're in trouble. If the lady resists, she's in trouble. My elder sister wrote a course 4 times at Ilaro simply because she refused sex with a lecturer, not until that lecturer was transferred before she could pass the course. This is pathetic. Everybody's anonymous today. People will try to protect their house, and that is what I sense from Prof's submission, which is quite sad. I can't find any sense of assertion or condemnation in that submission. Well, I hope that submission will be the same if his daughter were the one involved. I will encourage the girls and those affected to continue to be smart and use the power of social media to their advantage. Good morning. This is Tony from Bariga. My own contribution is for us not to only focus on the part of lecturers harassing students, but also to look into the area of students, that's females, tempting lecturers or even wanting to force lecturers to sleep with them in the name of upgrading their grades. And also the kind of dress ladies put on before those lecturers, really. If you don't look tempting, a lecturer cannot find interest in you. That is a lie.
Don't go there.
Tony, it's not don't go there. It is a blatant lie.
My friend that was harassed doesn't put on earrings. She does not wear earrings.
Let me finish the WhatsApp message. That's only halfway. If you don't look tempting, a lecturer cannot find interest in you, and also there should be a limited personal relationship with those lecturers, because a lecturer cannot just see you and demand such from you. I'm not against this topic, but just suggesting to open up some other sources that may lead to this sexual harassment. Tony, you must have missed it, because that was part of the question we did put to Prof. But the dressing of the female students, there are students who are completely covered head to toe, who are being harassed by lecturers and other students. I don't know why you're sending me an audio message. It's not like I can play it on radio. Good morning, my name is Shala. I'm a graduate of Olabisi Onabanjo University, and I can relate with this issue of sex for grades. A lecturer confronted me and he vowed that I will not graduate except I sleep with him, but I never did, and I graduated with good grades. What I did was to get to class before the lecture, read ahead of the class, and prepare very well for his exams. I was all bent to call for all my scripts if I ever failed his class. At the end of the day, he begged me to help him in his research when he was doing his PhD, and also help him to mentor his younger sister.
So that ended well.
One of the lucky ones.
Yes.
Henry from Ibejuleki, it's obvious that Prof is not telling us much. He keeps saying he's not aware of most of the questions being put to him. Okay, who else is here? You guys just keep sending them. Okay, we asked that question already. Okay, someone says it's more in the open in polytechnics than just universities, and that the usual practice is that the students will be victimized by other colleagues of the lecturer in the institution. Phil from Maryland, wow, I can't read everything. This sexual harassment issue is very rampant, and we know it. Lecturers work hand in hand with each other to stand for themselves in these cases. The school authorities are only playing blind eyes to this. My friend was a victim in UNILAG, and students themselves offer sex in exchange for passes. It's not new. I see lots of it while I'm schooling from university to college of education. When it comes to issues like this, I can't believe what anybody from any school is saying to defend themselves. I need to take a break. We'll be right back. I need to pay some bills. We'll get to the statement coming from OAU and add more to the conversation. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Tunji Andrews, and this is 1,000 Naira notes. To some people, this represents a meal, or a few bottles of beer. To other people, this is 4 units of Dangote cement shares, or 21 units of GT Bank stock, or the startup capital needed to start that pure water business. Whoever you are and whatever your needs might be, we have you covered on the Money Business and Economy Show on 99.3 Nigeria Info, weekday mornings at 9 a.m. Cause it's not really the amount of money that matters. It's usually what you do with it. Cheers.
Hi guys, my name is Tolu Adeleru Balogun. I currently host Morning Crossfire. I'm here to tell you that you have to get your PVC. Your permanent voter's card is your power, and in your hand you hold the power to make any necessary change that you want in Nigeria. Please participate, because elections are not the end of democracy and governance. The highest office in the land is the office of the citizen. You and I are citizens of Nigeria. Get your PVC. Your PVC, your voice.
Hi, my name is Tunji Andrews, and I run the SME show on 99.3 Nigeria Info every Monday at 10 a.m. You see, every second Monday of the month, we have what we call the Pitch It Mondays, where if you're an entrepreneur, you have a business idea, but you need investment into your business, you're able to pitch it to investors who will be with me in the studio. You'll be able to pitch your ideas in 45 seconds or less. And if you can catch their attention, you get the critical investment you need into your business. So rehearse what you're going to say, make sure you're able to catch their attention in 45 seconds or less. You might get that investment into your business.
Your reliable station for more information around Nigeria. Stay with us as we cover unfolding events around Nigeria, Africa, and the world. All the news, all day, every day, right here on Nigeria Info. 99.3. Nigeria Info. I am listening.
We know what's happening everywhere and every time. Giving you the latest happenings in Nigeria and around the world. The Breakfast News Digest, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. every weekday on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
All right, we are still on the Breakfast News Digest, 10 minutes to the 9 o'clock hour. Don't forget at 9, it's headline news. And of course, after that is the Money, Business and Economy show. I want to take a few more messages on WhatsApp. A lot of people have been saying, Daya from Egbeda says, this is a sensitive topic, and I must say that it's been a long time worm eating up our educational values. Who else is this? Kenny from Ikeja, sex for grade is actually prevalent in our educational institutions today, even in secondary schools, but it goes beyond lecturers pestering students. There are also many cases of students who just want to pass by all means, and it also goes beyond sex, especially at the postgraduate level. I am currently a postgraduate student, and I know many students pay their way to obtain certificates. Nigeria's educational system is fast collapsing. Then you graduate and you cannot defend what you graduated with. Please let me remain anonymous. I don't think the Prof is sincere at all. The system does not provide for checks and balances. I am and still a class governor up to now in a reputable university in Nigeria. Even now, every now and then, I have had to manage the demand from me helping them get female students to sleep with. So you've provided your own classmates to your lecture. Someone's talking about PMB. Am I talking about PMB in the middle of all this? So when we started having this conversation, I did ask for a few people to send me a DM, and this came from a young guy who is a student in a university, and he said that, of course, he's going to remain anonymous, but he studies in one of the local universities, and he says that safe to say that all the male lecturers in his department, even including the ones who happen to claim religion, have been terrorizing them. That there is one lecturer that it's 40K for a D. He doesn't hide it. That is 40K for a D, and you can have him twice throughout the whole term of your stay there, and he can even make you wait 3 years after school before you graduate. That if you have a reason and you fail for any particular course and you go to meet the lecturer without money or girls, then you keep failing the other courses. There was one time they went on a field trip and I was asked to organize a babe and I couldn't. Then we got back then. We wrote exams of which I'm very confident of getting an A. I mysteriously got a D. We went to 2 states for 3 days and I was told by the lecturer to provide him with a babe. And while he now sent me this, he now also tagged me in tweets that go back 3 or 4 years that students had been talking about this same lecture on social media. 3 or 4 years old. So it wasn't anything that was a concerted effort. It wasn't made up.
It's been happening.
It's been happening. Same, like they even have memes about this lecture. A professor.
So how come nothing has been done?
Students are afraid to. I think we should try to open the phone lines very quickly in the time we have left. It's not as simple as they provided phone lines for them to call, and people should call, but that we also have to consider, number one, the power dynamics, the cultural issues that have to go on. This is somebody who's older than you, and the stories get turned around very easily. Very soon, just because that girl, she's rude now, or that guy, and guys, I've seen situations where because you're dating the girl that the professor or the lecturer wants, you're the one who starts failing.
Exactly.
And guys have begged their girls to 012770993, 012771993, 012772993, and 012773993. Again, WhatsApp, if we get any more before we wrap up, is 08095975805. Please, let's make our comments quick and straight to the point so we can take as many as we can before we wrap up. Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Hi, good morning. My name is Yesterday. I really had to call in on this. I work with a lot of youth, okay? And what we're seeing is prevalent. The professor, with all due respect, was not being honest. We have to go far deeper than what is happening now. We have to go right to basic education, where girls are taught how to protect themselves. Because it has become a culture, and it is so disheartening to see what is happening. These men don't give these women a break, these girls a break. Now, the whole system is a patriarchal system that is geared around sex and these young girls. This is all they know, and this is the only way they know to get through. I'm really enraged right now because nothing is being done about it, because even if they go to the authorities, the people in the authorities are probably still doing the same thing to these young girls. Young girls feel this is no way out. There's no other way out. So we need to go to the basic education. If girls are not taught from home how to protect themselves, then start them in primary school. Because not only this, there is a terrible rape culture going on in these universities as well. I'm not saying lecturers, but a whole lack of disrespect for girls, for women. So that professor is not being truthful, and he knows, and it is outrageous. I don't care what rules they put in place. These girls can go and report, but they're going to be victimized. Go to basic education. Teach the girls how to protect themselves. Because this culture is so deeply embedded, and it's been going on for years. So I really feel insulted to hear the excuses he's given. Write in, complain. Nobody's going to listen to these girls. And sometimes they feel they have no option. So what are we getting? We're getting half-baked students coming out who can't string a sentence together because they've had to pay their way through school either with money or with sex. And the guys, too, have to go through this, not on the sexual side, but as far as paying these lecturers. What is going on with the morals? These people have got it themselves. So I don't want to hear any excuse. There has to be something where there is accountability for these men. They are all doing it. The majority of them are doing it. And these girls are suffering psychologically as well. It has become a system here. So let's go to basic education and start teaching girls how to protect themselves.
All right. Thank you very much for that. Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good morning. We can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good morning.
All right, good morning.
Please, I'd like to remain anonymous.
Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I was hearing the discussion on the radio, and I felt obliged to call because personally I've been like a victim of sexual harassment back then when I was in school. Although I left school some years ago. And like one of the people who sent the text message said he, as a class governor, has had to face issues when he had to provide girls for the lecturer. That was exactly what happened when I was in school. My class governor just came to me one day and telling me, "Oh, social lecturer wants to see you. He said he's come to his office." And I was like, "Why does he want to see me?" Because back in school, it was so rampant, I hated going to any lecturer's office. So, but I had to go, and before I knew, the man started passing sexual advances at me. And I didn't know what to do. I was so confused because then I was so young, you know. I got into school quite at a young age. So, you know, it was so bad that he threatened that if I don't, you know, sleep with him, he would fail me. And this was like almost in my final year. I was in my fourth year going to my final year. So I just couldn't deal with the low grades and the failures. And, you know, it got to the essence that if he would call me even so late at night, like 2 a.m., my phone would be ringing, and he would be, you know, when I pick the call, he would call with a strange number, and I pick the call, he would be like, you know, this is so. Have you decided? And I was filled with so much dread. The only thing I could do, I couldn't talk to anybody. I didn't know who to talk to. I only, you know, had to just, you know, pray and say, God, help me out of this. And he would tell me, if you don't come to my office as early as 6 a.m. in the morning, I will make sure you get an F in my course.
So what happened?
So I had no other option. I would go to his office, but for one reason or the other, he just didn't touch me. And when he tried to touch me, you know, he would try to kiss me, rub me, and do all sort of things. I would be begging. I would be like, "Sir, please don't do this to me." You know, so I spoke to a classmate of mine who also who knows him very well, and in fact they are like age mates because he was a mature person who was my friend. And that was how some way, one way or the other, I just got out of the mess. But many of my classmates weren't that lucky.
Lucky you.
They weren't that lucky. You know, I was just listening to the program with my husband, and I was just, you know, he was like, this is the same experience he passed through, and this is the thing that is still going on. So it is so real. My heart bleeds for every girl, every lady who has to pass through these things. And it doesn't have to do with the way you dress, because even if you wear long skirts, you cover your hair, these lecturers, they just want to have that feeling that they can manipulate and be above a lady and subdue her. You know, it's really a case of male chauvinism. So it's so terrible. I just wish something could be done about this, because girls are suffering. You know, many of them can't even speak out.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That will be the last phone call we can take, and the lines are blinking. We're going to work on making sure we have part 2 of this, but I quickly do want to get part of the statement from OAU's public relations officer, who said that the university has started investigation into the allegations against the professor, adding that anybody found guilty would be appropriately sanctioned. They have put machinery in motion to ascertain the veracity of the claims and identify the characters involved, and that management has taken a position which they are working on now. That the day the audio was leaked, the vice chancellor and other principal officers of the university acted, as well as the legal director. So we will keep you up to date. This is something that happened last year, but the video audio was just recently released. We see the phone lines. We will have a conversation with you, Lagos, on this in particular, and you can share your tomorrow you can share your thoughts. We're going to be looking at the student-lecturer relationship and concerns about that. So there is going to be a part 2 of this tomorrow. So please make sure you do tune into the Breakfast News Digest tomorrow. And it'll be a majority of phone calls so that you can share your personal experiences. Gentlemen, you're also welcome to call in, because we know the money is the issue for you, or providing females as well. But we have to wrap things up here. Ifunaya, thank you so much for joining us. Professor Yomi, thank you as well for making yourself available. Headline news, and then right after that, it's the Money, Business, and Economy Show.
Information.